Laser sights increase confidence regardless of experience level, whether you're learning the fundamentals or overcoming aging eyes. Crimson Trace, making laser sights standard equipment. Visit crimsontrace.com to find a dealer near you.
Welcome to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, where there's more to talk about than shooting. There's reloading and hunting and self-defense, too.
And welcome back. Tom Gresham here. 866-TALK-GUN. Get you in here. Just dial 1-TOM-TALK-GUN. Absolutely easy to get here, okay? A lot of things on the platform today. Looking at two different rallies, political rallies. And, of course, the Trump rally. Huge. Eric Swalwell. You may not have heard of him. If you have, he's kind of an insignificant, unimportant Democrat candidate for president, a little-known congressman. But he decided to do a big rally to promote his gun control agenda. He'd do it in front of the NRA headquarters. Getting a lot of press about it, you know. So he had a big rally there. But let me tell you, his platform is out there. It is really out there. Now, make no mistake, it's pretty much the same platform as most of the other Democrat candidates. But it was interesting because his huge rally drew 18 people. I didn't say 18,000, didn't say 1,800. No, it's 18 people. Kind of like, okay, yeah. He's trying to get off the 1% level of polling. I doubt that he will. I don't think he'll last much longer than the first debates. But it is instructive to listen to what he's calling for in the way of gun control, gun confiscation. And then he even made the comment that says, well, if people don't turn in their guns, what are they going to do? Fight us? We have nukes. Are you going to nuke American gun owners? He has talked about putting them in concentration camps. Well, at least they're out there saying the things publicly that we know they've been saying for generations privately. We will round up gun owners. We will put them in concentration camps. If necessary, we will kill them. Oh, Tom, that's crazy. Oh, ye of little information. Speaking of information, a good friend of mine joins us right now, Jeff Knox from the Firearms Coalition. Jeff is second-generation gun rights activist and writer of interesting pieces. I love this latest one, Jeff. You are the gun lobby, and you need to act like it. What do you mean by that?
Well, Tom, as you well know, Dad's signature line for many, many years was, hello, gun lobby. He started every speech with it, and it was his belief, it's my belief. The gun lobby isn't a bunch of overpaid suits in Washington. The gun lobby is you and me and every gun owner out there who takes an interest and gets engaged, and every lover of liberty. Because we're not just talking about guns, we're talking about liberty. We're talking about protecting the Bill of Rights. And with all of this stinking mess going on over at the NRA, they're crippled, they're wounded. And I don't know if they're even going to recover. And if they do, it's very likely that they won't in a timely fashion that will help or make a big impact in coming elections. But the NRA is not the gun lobby. Gun owners and people who care are the gun lobby, and we need...
And let me jump in there, Jeff, because I want people to understand. Your dad was Neil Knox, and Neil Knox was, of course, the Second Amendment activist. He was a great writer. He was an editor. He was a bench rest shooter, a championship-level bench rest shooter, reloader, gun guy. But what's interesting about this idea of him saying the NRA is not the gun lobby, that you are the gun lobby, is because he was the head of the Institute for Legislative Action. He was at the NRA when he was saying the NRA is not the gun lobby. You people are the gun lobby. So I want people to understand this was actually the NRA saying we're not the gun lobby. But this was also 30 years ago. Different time now.
Right, absolutely. And you know, for many years, the NRA ran from that label. They didn't want to be labeled as the gun lobby. They didn't want to get involved in gun politics. And in 1977, Dad and a bunch of other guys went to the NRA meeting, and they turned that around. And in 1978,
I was there.
Dad became the the executive director of NRA ILA, and he said, we need to own this label, and we need to share it with all of our members. And he started every speech with "Hello, Gun Lobby" or "Good morning, Gun Lobby," and actually, you remember the famous long-running advertising campaign of the NRA that "I'm the NRA." Well, that idea came from Dad. He wanted that ad to say "I am the Gun Lobby" and have regular NRA members sitting there holding their guns. And it's really true. You, the gun owner, you, the person out there, the American, you're the gun lobby, and you need to step up. And I'm not lecturing. I don't want to sound like I'm lecturing, but too many have, when called upon to take action for gun rights, too many have said, "I gave at the office." That,
right. I donate to the NRA. Let them do it. Or even worse, which is, well, what's the NRA doing about it? And of course, I always answer that with, what are you doing about it? Don't be passing this off on them. So let me ask you this: if the NRA is crippled, and I agree with you, I think they are. I actually share your concern. I'm not sure they actually even come out of this as an organization. And people say, are you kidding me? I had a board member tell me last week, he says, of course the NRA is going to continue. I said, well, I'm just not at all sure. I don't know what's going to happen, but at the very least, at this time, as we head toward this 2020 election, the NRA has been effectively sidelined. I mean, for all intents and purposes, they're out right now.
Yep.
No matter what happens, right?
Money. They're hemorrhaging money.
And $100,000 a day just to one lawyer is what they're paying. Just to one lawyer, $100,000 a day.
That's $2 million a month is going to this guy.
Yes.
And it was $3 million a month going to Ackerman and McQueen. Where's that going now? I don't know. Is that part of what they're giving to Ackerman's or McQueen's son-in-law, the lawyer?
Let's make sure. Do people understand that what's going on? Angus McQueen, head of Ackerman McQueen, his son-in-law is the lawyer who's getting the $100,000 a day from the NRA and sucking money out of there like with a 55-gallon pump, just pulling money out. It's the most unbelievable thing. You could not
his father-in-law.
To sue his father-in-law. Yes. You couldn't make this up. You couldn't get this script accepted in Hollywood. It's nutso. All right, but let's go back to what you're talking about. Okay, if you agree with you and me that they're basically out of the picture for now, I don't know what's going to happen, then what does the individual do? All right, so my contention is what the NRA really does is a lot of organization. It gets people moving, that type of thing. So I'm thinking people need to get plugged into their state organizations to find out where they can be effective, where to show up, and what to do. What do you think?
Absolutely. We have, at the Firearms Coalition, we have always advocated, number one, your attention, your allegiance, your dollars should go to your state grassroots organization first. And then if you've got a couple of bucks left over, pick a national organization that you think is doing a good job and send them a few bucks. But more importantly, right now, what people absolutely must do is get engaged, find resources that you trust. And I didn't say a resource that you trust. I said resources that you trust. Your local state group, many of them don't get involved in federal politics at all. They don't even talk about it. So you have to have national resources like Tom Gresham's Gun Talk, like the Firearms Coalition, like AmmoLandNews.com, or AmmoLand.com, the AmmoLand Shooting Sports News.
AmmoLand has become a really good resource. They've really dialed it up, and for people, they need to be checking it quite literally every day, or get on the mailing list, and it's free. You just check it out, AmmoLand.com. Yeah. But yeah, it's all about getting your information sources, because I'm always amazed at people Jeff, who say, well, I never heard of this. I'm going, well, how can you not hear of this? I mean, is this not a part of your makeup of who you are as a gun owner to be plugged into the Second Amendment fight? And evidently, in most cases, unfortunately, that's not the case.
Well, and while we can be critical, you and I, we're flukes of nature. We're freaks, Tom. We had a calling.
Right.
We're dedicated to this. We grew up in it, and we're dedicated to it. Your dad and my dad were friends and colleagues, and but most people, the average American, doesn't really give a rip about politics. They don't want to get involved in politics, and they try and stay away from it. And I understand that. And there comes a time when they have to buck up and do their job. Under the Constitution, under our structure, you've got to participate. But this also highlights another problem that I want to throw a rock at. And that's
all right. Hold on to that thought, because I got to take a quick break. We'll come back.
All right.
And Jeff Knox is going to be throwing a rock, so I'm going to be getting behind some cover here. If you'd like to be a part of this, if you got a take on it, or you want to participate, 866-TALK-GUN. I do love it that you say it's time for people to do their job as a citizen of the United States. You have a duty, you have a job to get informed and to be involved. I love that. I'm Tom Gresham. We'll be right back with more gun talk.
The next big thing for the AR-15 has arrived, the Brownells BRN 180 Upper, a modernized version of the Armalite AR-180, featuring a 16-inch barrel, a 223 wild chamber, and a full-length pick rail. The BRN 180 skips the buffer system to allow complete function of the firearm with the stock folded or extended. Best of all, the Brownells BRN 180 mounts to any mil-spec AR lower. Visit brownells.com today.
Want great deals on guns, ammunition, and gear? Download the free Gundealio app today. With Gundealio, you can search for deals, listen to the Gun Talk podcast, watch gun videos, read gun news, and get notifications right to your phone about deals and special offers. Save money on the products you want from the companies you love. New deals, discounts, and rebates added daily. Gundealio, available for free in the App Store and Google Play.
Are you looking for a place to shoot? The National Shooting Sports Foundation has a great website called wheretoshoot.org. It's the largest database of shooting ranges on the internet. It's also a great resource for shooters where you can find video tips, printable targets, and a lot more. Find it online at wheretoshoot.org. And while you're there, download their free iPhone app. That's wheretoshoot.org.
For 36 years, the U.S. Sportsmen's Alliance has been fighting to protect hunting, fishing, and trapping for sportsmen from coast to coast. Today, we are under constant attack from extremist animal rights groups who want to end your ability to hunt in the U.S. Join us to protect our sporting heritage and our way of life outdoors. To join or for more information on how you can help, go to ussportsman.org. That's ussportsman.org.
Tactical professionals who put their lives on the line every day depend on Surefire. Since 1979, Surefire has designed, machined, and assembled the finest flashlights, weapon-mounted lights, hearing protection, and suppressors right here in the U.S. Surefire, offering a best-in-class warranty and customer service, and used by more military special operations, SWAT teams, and hard-use end users than any other brand. Surefire, American-built, American-strong. Visit Surefire.com. That's Surefire.com.
We're talking with Jeff Knox from the Firearms Coalition. And Jeff, before we get into whatever it is you're going to throw this rock at here, it occurs to me, we're talking about the NRA is weakened right now. I don't know what their future is going to be, if they're going to come back at all, and if they come back at what level. But no matter what happens with the NRA, if people will actually take this call to arms seriously, this call to action, if they will get involved, if they'll get serious, if they get informed, if they show up, if they speak up, then no matter what happens with the NRA, if it comes back strong, that's even better because we have everybody stronger. If they don't, then we still have everybody or more people involved. So there's no downside to getting a whole lot of gun owners energized and involved, is there?
No, there's absolutely no downside. It's something that we have needed for a long time to be more engaged. And that's what you said, talking to people who say, well, I didn't even know about that. And that's the rock I wanted to pitch, Tom, and that goes to the traditional gun magazines and the new media, that too many of them, I think that it's an absolute sin for any gun magazine to ever be published without at least a short column about what's going on in Second Amendment news that they need to be aware of. And the same with the bloggers and the vloggers and the YouTubers,
podcasters, yep.
The podcasters, that they all, and the forums. I get so upset with these forums that, we're here to talk about guns, no politics allowed. Well, create a little channel on the side of your forum that's, if you want to talk politics, or here's the latest political news, because it's critical that we all know this, and if the guys want to avoid it, they can, but the outlets, the news outlets, and these guys absolutely need to at least put the information out, or at a minimum say, hey, check out this, and this. This is where you can get some solid gun rights news on a regular basis, because people need to be engaged. And that's the next step. Once you find your resources that you trust, and I would hope that the Firearms Coalition at firearmscoalition.org would be one of them, that once you find the resources that you trust, listen to them, and when they call on you to take action, take action. Do what they ask you to do. A lot of us make it so easy that all you have to do is go over and click a couple of buttons, and you've just sent a letter to your congressmen and your senators, and it's simple as it can be. When we ask you to do that, do it. That will make a difference.
Well, it also occurs to me that, yes, it does a greater good. It supports the Second Amendment. It pushes back. And for those who still live in the state and they're thinking, well, there's no real big threat, nothing's happening here, I would ask them to take a look at what's going on all over the country now. I was going to say California, but actually everywhere. Nevada just passing red flag laws. You got background checks required just to buy a box of .22 ammunition in California. So, I would direct them to look everywhere, find out, what's going on, and get plugged in. But there's another part of this, Jeff, which is, yes, you're doing a greater good, but you talk about doing something for yourself, a sense of purpose, a reason to get up every day, to get in the fight. When you start getting in and you start working with other people, or you go to the Gun Rights Policy Conference, you end up feeling a bit different about yourself. It's a thing, you're doing it for everybody else and for the cause, but in the end, you actually end up doing it for yourself. And nobody talks about that much, but you'll end up feeling better about yourself if you get involved.
Absolutely. Enlightened self-interest is what we're talking about here. That when you do... The Constitution, the preamble to the Constitution, talks about preserving these things for our posterity. And doing that, our posterity, those that come behind us, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, that is a noble calling, and we all need to heed that call and get involved and take the action. And at this point, my organization is a nonpartisan organization, but now the Democrats have decided that they're going to make gun rights a partisan issue in a major way, and so they've chosen to make it a partisan fight.
More so than I've ever seen. I mean, we've always known that, for the most part, the Democrat Party was anti-gun, but they were smart enough in the past. They actually had papers that they passed around that said, do not talk about gun control. This is a losing cause. For whatever reason, they have decided to come out and be open about their calls for confiscation, literally for sending gun owners to prison if they don't turn in their guns. And it seems to be, you got the more radical ones, but it seems like almost all of the Democrat candidates now are doing that.
Absolutely. And there's two reasons why they're doing it. The reason that they stayed away from it was 1994, because we helped to overthrow all of the leadership in the House in 1994 after the Clinton assault weapons ban, and they felt that sting, and they backed away from us for a long time, 20 years. But then we've had two things that have changed. Number one is Bloomberg has brought his billions to bear to pay these politicians to make it worth their while to get out front on gun control stuff, Bloomberg and the Giffords. And the second thing that's happened is that gun owners in general have gotten so frustrated and fed up with the Republican Party not doing what they promised that they would do or not getting it done that they've walked away. And the result of that is that for the last several elections, gun voters have been impotent. We've not been able to flex our muscle at all because we're walking away from the Republicans and we're just flipping off the Democrats. That's not winning. We have to win, and the only way to win is to go after the side that's trying to attack us and deny them their seat. And that means voting. Sometimes it means voting for a Republican that we don't really like that much, but we have to defeat the Democrats.
That's pretty much the whole deal, Jeff. I appreciate that. Tell people where they can find out more about Firearms Policy Coalition.
Firearms Coalition, firearmscoalition.org. Firearmscoalition.org.
Sorry. Yeah, I threw out a policy. Sorry about it. Firearmscoalition.org. Jeff Knox, thank you so much. I appreciate that very much. Good take on that, my friend. Yeah, as Jeff says, look, got to be a grown-up. Perfect isn't running. You know, the outfit that supports you 50% is better than the outfit who opposes you 100%. I mean, there it is. But they're not good on fill in the blank. Bump stocks, suppressors, whatever it is. Yeah, got it. But they're not taking away your guns. They're not calling to literally build internment camps, concentration camps for gun owners. You got to defeat it's real simple. You got to defeat anybody with a D next to his or her name. I wish it weren't that way, but that's the reality.
I heard the click, click, click of her stiletto heels coming down the hall. And I caught her perfume before she opened the door to my office. And she stood there looking like $1,000,000 tax-free. I want to talk to you, she said. Come back later, I said. I'm listening to Tom Gresham's Gun Talk right now.
Hey, when do you want to spot that burglar? When he's casing your home or after he's in? Ask John, whose Blink camera alerted him of burglars trying to break in while he and his family were home. Or Shannon, whose Blink camera caught a thief stealing packages. Both times, Blink video clips were sent to the police to help convict the crooks. Blink motion-activated indoor and outdoor cameras are wire-free, set up in minutes, and run on 2 lithium batteries that last up to 2 years. And when you're away, Blink's live feed option lets you monitor your home and check in on kids and pets from anywhere using your Blink smartphone app. No contracts, totally affordable. In fact, Blink systems start at just $79.99. Thanks to Blink, home security just got easier. Visit blinkprotect.com/guntalk. blinkprotect.com/guntalk. Also available on Amazon and at Best Buy. Blink is an Amazon company, and it works with Alexa. What's the longest shot you ever made with a handgun? Ooh. Yeah, I thought I was going for the rifle, didn't you? What's the longest shot you ever made? Actually hitting what you were shooting at with a handgun. That matters. Self-defense gun, hunting gun, whatever. If you were a metallic silhouette shooter, we can do that too. I'm sure you've wrung them out a little bit. I just kind of like to know. 866-TALK-GUN is the number here, or just dial Tom Talk Gun. I was also thinking about some of the Democrats and what they're saying and their boldness, their willingness to do what has the echoes, it's reminiscent of what was done in Germany when they picked up guns, in Russia when they picked up guns, putting people into concentration camps, trucking them off. Latest example comes out of Illinois. Let's see. Illinois Senator Julie Morrison. She's at a town hall meeting. Somebody got video of this. It's after the town hall. And they have a proposal there that they would basically stop the sale of semi-automatic firearms, but you'd be able to keep yours, but you'd still have to pay a $25 a year registration fee or a fine. So in other words, they'd be saying, these are way too dangerous for anybody to own, but you get to keep yours. But in order for you to keep them, you got to pay a fine, a $25 a year fine, which of course makes no sense on the face of it. So one of the constituents confronted Senator Morrison after this town hall meeting and making the point, say, look, if I get to keep it and pay a fine and register it, he says, how dangerous is it in the first place? And why do you need to ban it at all? Why do you need to try to ban my semi-automatic firearms? And this is a report out of Avalanche. It says, with a repellent smugness that can only be appreciated by watching the video, and they have posted the video there, Morrison offered her constituents a flippant response, literally looking down her nose at those gathered. The state senator replied, well, you just maybe changed my mind. Maybe we won't have a fine at all. Maybe it'll just be confiscation and we won't have to worry about paying a fine. Maybe we'll just confiscate them completely and there won't be any grandfathering and you won't have to pay a fine. And they're good with the whole confiscation deal. This from the group that continually says, nobody wants to take your guns. You guys are paranoid. What are you talking about? Nobody wants to take your guns. And then in the same breath, I say, yeah, but we're going to confiscate your guns. And then the media makes fun of and mocks gun owners. And you guys are talking about people want to take your guns. Nobody wants to take your guns. Barack Obama, over and over and over. Nobody wants to take your guns. Well, except that you want to confiscate our guns. What? Holy cow. Chuck's on line one out of Texas. Hello, Chuck. Welcome to Gun Talk. What's up?
Hello, Tom. Thank you very much for the blue book. I was absolutely amazed when it actually showed up. I thought it'd probably just get lost in the mail. Number two, on the NRA thing, I've been a life member, NRA, TSRA, everything out there. And the thing is, we've got to support the NRA. We've got to support the Second Amendment Foundation because those guys are doing the yeoman's work on all this. But we also need to support everybody else. JPFO, SAF, Citizens Committee, Right to Keep and Bear Arms. You know, power corrupts, absolute power corrupts absolutely. I mean, our federal government is corrupt. The NRA is corrupt. The Catholic Church was the most corrupt institution on earth at one time, and it's just the nature of the beast. That's why the Founding Fathers wanted the states to be the dominant political entity, and we need to get behind the Convention of States to try. You know, right now, if you can win in 12 cities, you can win a national election. You don't need to go anywhere else. You know, God help us if we lose the Electoral College.
Oh, I was just going to say, because those who are saying we have to do it with the Electoral College, then at that point you've done away with the country. The United States does not in any way resemble what it was when it was created. So I'm right there with you. And Chuck, I thank you for pointing all that out. I mean, the state groups, and I would just encourage people, I keep talking about this all the time, get involved with your state group. Find out what your state group is. Just do a little search, online search for, you know, Maine Gun Rights Group, Nebraska Gun Rights, whatever your state is, find out, get involved. And, I mean, I know it sounds, you hear it all the time, but this is how it works. You got to be a grown-up about this. It takes money. And I don't care if people say, oh, I don't have a lot of money. You got $10. You bought coffee that last year. You know, you got $10, you got $25, you got $100. You can find it somewhere. If I said, I've got a brand new Kimber 1911 and you could have it for $300, you could find $300. Right? Okay. This is what it takes. This is how it works. You have to stand up. You have to speak up. And frankly, you got to pay up. Bloomberg is pouring millions and billions, $1.8 billion given to Johns Hopkins University. And you got the Johns Hopkins University Center for Crime Research, funded by Bloomberg. So they're putting out these quote-unquote studies where they're saying, well, Connecticut passed gun laws, and they had a 40% reduction in murder rate over 20 years. And the media picks that up and runs with it, and Cory Booker is running around saying, yeah, Connecticut passed gun control laws, and they had a 40% reduction in murder rate. And what's not being said? The rest of the country had a 40% reduction in murder rate, too. Yeah, actually 50%. The entire country had an almost 50% reduction in murder rate. So saying, well, Connecticut passed gun control law, and they had a 40% reduction in gun rate, in murder rate. Well, yeah, but it doesn't mean anything. Out of context. That's what this money is buying, and that's where we go back to, yeah, we got to put some money in the coffers. It's how it works. So just, hey, you know what? This is how grown-up politics works. 866-TALK-GUN.
Since 1902, Norma has built a reputation for its dedication to quality, precision, and reliability. Norma now offers a line of personal defense handgun ammunition. The monolithic hollow point 9mm is designed for the ultimate in performance across all sizes and barrel lengths. This bullet delivers unprecedented expansion and quick energy transfer for great stopping power. Norma offers proven ammunition for hunting, competition, self-defense, and more. Find yours at norma-ammunition.com.
This land, once wild and free, fades now from our memory. But I remember what it was like, what we were like, what we are capable of when we band together. Perhaps more than any other landscape, wetlands embody the life-giving abundance that nature has to offer. And perhaps more than any other organization, Ducks Unlimited is working to ensure that our continent's wetlands not only survive, but thrive for generations well beyond this one. These natural wonders are where waterfowl begin their cycle of life, where the deer and the antelope play, and where we, the people, gather together to see and share what makes the outdoors so great. The time is now to band together with organizations like Ducks Unlimited. The time is now to rescue our wetlands.
Hi, this is Ryan Gresham with Gun Talk. Visit guntalk.com/win to enter our latest giveaway. This month, it's the Springfield Armory St. Victor rifle in .308. The St. Victor is a lightweight AR-10 weighing in at just 7.8 pounds and features a 16-inch barrel, M-LOK free float handguard, and flip-up sights. Enter now through June 28th at guntalk.com/win.
The Ruger pistol that started it all is now even better. The Ruger Mark IV has the same great look as the Mark III, but now its simple one-button takedown means less time taking apart your gun and more time shooting it. Disassemble it in seconds for no hassle cleaning. Learn more about the Target, Hunter, and 2245 Light Mark IV series models at Ruger.com. The Ruger Mark IV, another rugged, reliable firearm from Ruger.
Well, Shotgun Joe is at it again. Joe Biden, Shotgun Joe. He's the one that said, he told his wife, you don't need a pistol, you don't need an AR-15. All you need is a double-barrel shotgun. If you have an intruder outside, you just go out on the porch, point that shotgun up in the air and fire both barrels. That'll scare them away. Yeah, let's see. Won't do any good. Now you have an unloaded gun. Shotgun Joe. Well, he's up to his old tricks here. He says, if I get elected president of the United States of America with your help, if that happens, guns, we have the capacity now in a James Bond style to make sure no one can pull a trigger unless their DNA and fingerprint is on it. So we're going to base our public policy off of a fictional character in books and movies. He's not just dumb. He's world-class dumb. Shotgun Joe. Line 4. Vance is with us. Reno, Nevada. What's going on out there in Nevada? I'm seeing them passing these laws, Vance. What's happening?
Well, the sheriffs in all 17 counties, with regards to universal background checks, as of earlier this week, are not going to enforce it. And Balaam, I live up here in Washoe County, and Balaam was a big question mark with me. Mm-hmm. But apparently enough people, including myself, got to him, and he signed on to it. Now,
so you have a new law that wait just a second. Hold on just a second here. You have the new law that says you have universal background checks in Nevada, but you have sheriffs, you said in 17 counties. Does that include Clark County?
Yes. From what I understand, it includes Clark County. What happened was we've got a local talk show host here, and somebody called in from Clark County, and apparently is very much up on tracking this, and said all 17 sheriffs have signed on. We will not.
So they're saying they're not going to enforce the law. They're not going to do the universal background check. They're not going to enforce the law. Yeah, it's still on the books.
It's still on the books, but it's not going to be enforced.
Well, not by the sheriffs. It could be enforced by somebody else.
Yeah, well, the police, chiefs of police, especially down in Clark County, are not being trusted.
Well, typically, and I've said this before, there are obviously some really good chiefs of police, but chief of police tends to be a more political position. It generally is appointed by a mayor. It's not an elected position, whereas sheriffs are generally elected positions, so they are quite a bit more answerable to the will of the people as opposed to the will of the political party that they're actually serving. And I think that may be you're talking about that's maybe what's going on. What do you think?
Correct. And the sheriffs down in Douglas and Elko and over in Elko County should get kudos for leading the charge on this.
All right, very good. Thank you for our range report. I appreciate that. It's good info. James is on 2 out of Waco, Texas. James, this is an interesting question. Lay it on me.
Yes, sir. Hopefully I'm not too far off topic here, but when people refer to the AR-15 as an assault rifle, is it a waste of time to try to correct them, letting them know that's not what it stands for? Or
yeah, no, it's never a waste of time. It's never a waste of time. You can just say, look, and you can say, you probably don't know this, but the AR in AR-15 actually stands for Armalite rifle, not assault rifle. There is, and you can say, there is actually such a thing as an assault rifle, according to the official definition, but it's select fire. It's a machine gun. So the AR-15 is most certainly not an assault rifle, and certainly not an assault weapon. I think it's okay. It's all in how you do it. Don't do it in a smart alecky way or in a way to put somebody down. Say, you may not know this, but actually, historically, the AR in AR-15 stood for Armalite rifle. And they go, oh, I didn't know that. That's kind of cool. And it can take you further into the discussion of gun names and political gun names, such as the mythical, non-existent assault weapon. Hey, don't forget to sign up for our free newsletter. We do an email newsletter. Go to guntalk.com and you can find it and sign up there. It's called the Truth Squad newsletter. We have a lot of information, information about new products, new things that are going on, new releases, but also I'll have kind of my rant or reminiscence or my thoughts in there. I write something almost every week in there, so sign up for that. I think you'll enjoy it. I know it is worth every penny that you don't pay for it. Line 3, Peter's with us out of Pensacola, Florida. Peter, you're on Gun Talk.
Hi, Tom. I just left the Northwest Florida Knife and Gun Show, working the table to promote the Friends of NRA banquet here in Pensacola on Friday, August 2nd.
Okay.
So I want to encourage everyone to get involved. If you're upset with the NRA as an organization, get involved with the Friends of NRA. Half the money we raise stay in the local area. We do things like promote shooting sports with the NJROTC teams here in Pensacola, as well as we help build the Scouts archery range that's shared by the Scouts and 4-H. We've even bought equipment for some of the smaller police departments in this area. The Friends of NRA is a great organization, and they need your help. At the very least, buy a ticket and show up to the banquet.
It's a separate organization from the NRA, but let me ask you, are you getting any pushback on people getting involved with that because of what's going on at the NRA these days?
I haven't heard from anyone, but surprisingly, we didn't sell any of the tickets for the gun that we are doing the door prize on, and that is a Kimber rifle in 6.5 Creedmoor. We weren't able to sell any of the raffle tickets, and some people wouldn't even take the flyer announcing the location and the date of the banquet. But we got people who were.
This is another case where the stuff that's going on at the NRA with these very expensively paid people and this power play that's going on is actually hurting the efforts to do good work on a local level. I appreciate the call, sir. Thank you. You know, I will tell you, I had a guy told me this week, a former board member, he said, look, his thought, he said, look, if LaPierre really cared about the cause, he would resign. I thought, well, there's an interesting take. Hadn't heard anybody say that. Yeah, he says, if Wayne LaPierre actually really cared about the gun rights, if he really cared about the Second Amendment, he would resign because this whole thing is just bringing down the NRA. Wow, interesting take. I don't know. Let's see. Charles, line 4, Bismarck, North Dakota. Charles, I got about a minute, so go for it.
Okay, yes. You know, all this stuff about the NRA, I want to know what's going on. I have no idea. I was just thinking, you know, if worse comes to worse and all the guns are confiscated, there'll still be wrist rockets and half-inch steel ball bearings. But, you know, I'm thinking it's like the old thing, the Pandora's box, the genie's out of the bottle. People know how to make guns. People know how to make ammo. I don't think they can ever put it back in the bottle unless it gets really bad, like in North Korea or communist China.
I got my thought on that. Let me throw this in. They would have to confiscate 350 to 400 million guns. They're not going to do that. People will shoot them. What? Yes, that's what I said. If you send people to confiscate the guns, a lot of the people who go to pick up the guns will be shot. That's just what it is, because at that point, many people, and I'm talking about millions of people, will then consider it the Second American Revolution. This is not crazy talk. This is what is going to happen. And if they have not considered that, you know, I don't know what they're thinking. But you talk about your unintended consequence. Oh, I'll tell you what, if you want to talk about that, call me right now. We'll do it on the after show. 866-TALK-GUN. Is that crazy talk? Am I out there? I don't know what you think. But you know what? You got to get involved. No matter what you think is going on, you got to be involved in your state group. It's time to sign up. Frankly, it's your duty as an American.